Hey guys, welcome to the Wanderlost vlog with me, Jesse Manfra. As you can see, a bit of a different background today. We are not at the Wanderlost studios, which is just my apartment, not so much a studio. But actually today I'm away for work, and in the background is lovely Dallas, Texas. You got a nice view of a freeway, and there's some hotels in the background. So, you know, it helps you give that sense of, you know, you're in a hotel, and you're kind of just stuck here. You're kind of trapped. There's not really much out there. Haven't seen much of Dallas, sadly. If you're from Dallas, I'm sorry. I wish I could have seen more of your beautiful city that I can kind of see out my window. And I wish I could have got more barbecue while I was here. That's probably my biggest regret. So I know I've been in a little bit of a hiatus recently after the new year. So, you know, let me just be real with you guys. I started a new job. I got my first full-time gig. It was pretty exciting, doing the 9-to-5 thing now. I'm sort of doing work in the marketing world and doing videos for lots of different clients that have lots of different needs, and it's going to be really fun. I'm enjoying myself immensely already, and I can't wait to get at it a bit more. So if you haven't seen already, over on the channel we kicked off the very first episode of the Wanderlost podcast. It was a lot of fun. It was just a casual conversation. We talked about social justice issues. We talked about the current presidential election and democracy around the world. It was really great. I definitely learned a lot, and it was a lot of fun to just talk about these topics that are super current and pressing in today's time.
But if that many people are turning up to the voting polls and are saying, we are so dissatisfied with how capitalism has turned out in our lives and we need to adjust it, I think that for me is the biggest indicator. It's not necessarily Bernie Sanders saying that. It's more so that after 40 years or 30 years of him saying the same thing, that it's now resonating for one reason or another.
And a lot of people are saying, well, let's not think about climate change, let's think about system change. Mm-hmm. Let's think about changing the systems that are in place now that are affecting and causing climate change.
It's about changing everything that has to do with the current system of climate policy in a sense. Hopefully that's definitely the hope, is we need to see this really, really soon.
All right, guys, it's update time. Are you ready for updates? Because I got some updates. So, for our second documentary on tiny homes, we are really plugging away at it. The very last thing that we're going to do for this documentary, we're actually going to go stay in a tiny house for a weekend. I think there's going to be 4 or 5 of us crammed into this tiny home. I think it's maybe 250 square feet or less, something like that. So we're definitely going to get the real full experience, and hopefully we can show you the other side that maybe HGTV doesn't show you on shows like Tiny House Hunters. We've also started working on the 3rd episode, and we're going to be talking about divestment. So for those of you who don't know too much about divestment, I don't want to divulge too much about it because I want to save a lot of that content for the video, but essentially divestment is the opposite of investment. So if you really want companies that you don't like to change their values and change their practices, stop giving them money and stop investing. All right, guys, thank you so much for staying updated on the vlog. Keep following us on YouTube, keep seeing all the new content we're putting out there. Stay tuned for episode 2 on tiny homes. And if you haven't already, go check out the first episode of the Wanderlost podcast. You know, it's video, so you can look at my lovely face again if you want to. But, you know, if you're tired of seeing this mug, you can just put it on in the background. The information that you'll hear is still great, and you're definitely probably going to learn something that you didn't know about before. Be sure to stay updated with all things Wanderlost by checking out the links in the description below. And with that, you know, right now I don't have brisket in my mouth, and I really want to go see if I can go explore Dallas and maybe get some brisket in my mouth. So with that, music up.